What's up, Wolfpack? Welcome back to another episode on WIGSLY's channel. If you're new here, this is usually a motorcycle channel, but I can't ride my motorcycle because it's in the shop right now getting a tune-up. Today we're going to talk about a little Harley news, but first I want to introduce you to Todd. Todd is the guy in the Facebook group for motorcyclists in your local area. Todd is what's known as a Harley enthusiast. Todd knows the difference between every bike Harley has ever made. Todd buys the same bike every time he buys a new bike. Todd likes to yell at WIGSLY in the Facebook group, in the comments, because WIGSLY does not agree with Todd all of the time. Alright, Todd, hold your britches, because Harley announced something, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to understand it all the way, so I'm going to break it down a little bit. By no means am I an authority. All the information I've gotten is just other articles that people have written on Revzilla and other sites like it, but I'm going to interpret for you a little bit. Harley's building motorcycles in China. Stop the presses. Harley's building motorcycles in China? Settle down, Todd. Chill. Harley is going to produce motorcycles for the Chinese market, and they're going to manufacture them in China. Now, Harley's not building a plant in China. Harley has a partner. That partner, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, Qingjiang. They are a Chinese company that owns Volvo. They're actually part of a larger company that owns Volvo. Basically, the people that own Volvo own a company that they make motorcycles already. They make motorcycles for a company called Benelli. Benelli is an Italian motorcycle designer that has its motorcycles made in China by Qingjiang already. If you don't know what a Benelli is, the Benelli 300 is like a big Grom. It's part of this mini bike thing. It's part of this European and Asian market small bike, like 300cc thing. Not everybody needs a full dresser. Todd. So Harley says that the first bikes that they're making in China for China should be available by 2020. That's next year. We're right now like halfway through 2019, so you can expect probably mid next year. I want to make this super clear for the Todds. Harley is not going to sell you a bike that was put together in China. All the motorcycles made by the Harley-Davidson Motor Company that are sold in America are assembled in America. Todd. So we've talked about Harley's business before on this channel. If you're not familiar, basically, my position's kind of the Todds of the world for all their complaining that it's not a Harley or it's not American. Harley has to compete. We live in a capitalist society. Harley has to make more money than they're putting out. And for a company that large to stay afloat, they have to make a lot more money than they're putting out so they can invest in R&D and do these other things. And part of what they're doing is a global strategy. Harley understands that just selling to 50-year-old white dudes who are on their 5th Heritage Classic cannot keep Harley afloat by themselves. Sorry, Todd, your 30 grand every 10 years just ain't doing it. So they have to compete globally with all these other companies that already are and own so much more of the market globally than Harley does. I endorse this move. This is the right move. Am I being a little selfish and kind of hoping that some of these might make their way over here so that I could get on one and ride it and see what it's all about? Kinda, yeah. Am I also aware that this is basically a Buell situation where somebody else is doing the math and the engineering and the putting together? Yeah. It's basically got a Harley stamp on a Benelli. But Benellis are cool. And Harley's done this before. Again, remember Buell. It's actually, by the way, been 10 years since they made the last Buell. Maybe Harley's trying it again, and maybe the market has changed and it will work. I don't know. We will have to wait and see. This bike is slated to be a 338cc motorcycle, so it's a 300 or a 350. It's basically a Benelli. I'll put pictures of it up on the screen if you saw the thumbnail. It's like a little cafe. It's smaller than the Street 500. It's cheaper than the Street 500. So again, Harley's trying to attract different markets. The international market, and we keep hearing them say how they really want to capture the young market who just aren't buying Harleys like their older brothers, their uncles, their dads, and grandpas did. Here's my interpretation of this. I believe that this is Harley's attempt to get into the small game market, which they've tried a bunch of times and haven't really succeeded long term, But that was before the mini bike craze. Groms are hot. Whatever the other, I know that there's a Suzuki and Kawasaki like make Grom clones. They're cool. These Benellis that are like 300cc are cool. That new Honda Rebel is cool. These mini bikes are cool as like a second bike, as like a going up to the bar bike, as a zipping around town wheelie machine bike. I'd really like to see Harley make one, and I hope that this is a step in that direction, so that in a couple years we see an American version of this bike that is a Harley and is kind of a Grom. And I understand that Harley's going to charge more than whatever Honda's charging. There's going to be a premium, but I might pay it. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments if you think that this is Harley's stepping stone into the mini moto space. Or do you think that this is just Harley trying to put their badge on something someone else makes in China in order to sell more bikes? Period. Or are you Todd? Todd, I'll see you in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you want to see new content first, and share this on social media in all of your Facebook motorcyclist groups so that the Todd in your life can tell you how stupid you are.